A warm greetings from Hitesh Tripathi. I think people are not so enthusiastic about the topic, so I see very few people. But I'll try to keep it not boring and just make it simple. So the subject which I'm talking about is future of coffee drinking experiences in India, and also successful coffee selling, because end of the day coffee is not just a drink, but it's a product which is associated with the experience which you carry while you have it. So there had been a lot of focus on the product, but unfortunately not so much on how it has to be presented or how it has to be served. And as a consulting company, our forte is into retail business, and we've been working on various projects across India. So we have somehow expertised on how the product has to be presented. Also, I'm taking it as a marketing platform for promoting a brand which we have collaborated from Austria, and it's a premium coffee brand brought into India, and we are introducing it into the Indian markets. So let's start with the presentation. Now, as a country, we are seeing a whole lot of retail transformation, and people are more willing to spend more into the retail concepts. Following are the reasons which we have enlisted. One is the increasing urbanization, increasing disposable incomes, raising middle class population, increasing number of youngsters and working women, health consciousness, consumer awareness and changing preferences, and internet penetration. So all these factors contribute towards more of retail segment sales and retail segment setups. When we plan a retail concept, we basically have to plan the following three things, keeping in mind. One is the selection of the target market. Second is the developing of the retail mix, and third is the formulation of the positioning strategy. Now I would like to slightly explain more on these. Selection of the target market. For example, if we are targeting a premium product and we are opening a retail outlet in a rural suburban place, it won't work. Similarly, if we are having a household domestic product, or a product which is for the masses at a very cheap price, then the viability of the concept will not come on a super premium place, because you will have to sell it at a very reasonable price. So basis the place selection and the retail mix selection, we have to formulate a complete marketing strategy for the retail establishment. Then comes the promotion the promotion and the branding part. Now it has to be easy to shop, because when a customer is coming for a retail concept or for a food or a F&B experience, he's actually not looking for a complicated purchase process. So the process has to be easy. It has to be inviting. It has to be warm. It should not be closed. It should be open for people. It should be welcoming. It should be inspirational. So when I talk about inspirational, it should excite customers about new products by helping them explore opportunities, envision benefits of products, and by outlining the process is a clear and appreciable manner. And then it's the tailored mode of operation, where it has to be tailored as per the customer preferences. In between the presentation, I am keeping some of the images just to interact more with people. So this is one of the retail concepts in Austria. It's a coffee and a bakery shop. Now the question comes, why the need for entire coffee concepts? So coffee nowadays is sold in multiple locations. coffee houses, restaurants and bakeries, petrol stations, supermarkets, hardware stores, and various street locations. Now, the attributes which the point of sale they have lack of competence, poor quality of equipment, poor quality of raw materials, and decisions driven by low price. The experience to the consumer is uniformity of the coffee products and low quality of coffee products. So when I carry back the experience, it's not an experience which I would want to come back to, because it's either price driven or not so specifically product driven. There is no technology, no science behind it. And what I speak of this, you'll be able to grasp more when we go to the next slides. So the effects of a poor coffee concept is that the benefits remains behind expectation as a business promoter. The emotional market is destroyed because coffee is an emotional product. And the questions which come now is, what is successful coffee selling? So why should a customer drink coffee at a specific location? How can a customer be brought to a coffee within a specific location? How can the amount of sold cups of coffee be maximized? These are the questions which usually come for a retail investor or a retail brand, that as a food or as a F&B, the recall value should be high. If I have tasted a product, it should be back in my mind that if I get a chance, very next day I would probably go back to the same place. Because in management we have studied food is high satisfaction and low loyalty. So it's all about how we can get back the loyalty. Today we had pizza, but tomorrow, and it was an excellent pizza, but tomorrow we would go for a South Indian cuisine. So how we can get the loyalty that, okay, even if whatever cuisine I am having, I have to go to the same coffee, or I have to go to the same dessert, or I have to go to the same pan. Another concept which is in Hungary. Okay, so now here from this slide onwards, I start to focus on how a successful coffee selling or how a successful concept can be backed up with the competencies. So we have to talk about the quality of the product, which is the foremost important thing. And when I talk about the quality of the product, the coffee itself is important, the coffee machine is important, and then I'm sure a lot of people will be surprised that the water is also important, because the kind of water is used for the extraction of coffee beans makes a lot of difference into the taste and the aroma of the product. Then we talk about the exclusivity. When it comes to exclusivity, it is how the products are served, ceramic cups, glasses, or takeaway paper cups, and the product specialities. More of the product specialities we'll be able to see in some of the later slides. Products which are very, very lucrative to the eyes are the first ones to be caught upon. Then the emotion part of the entire concept. So here comes the architecture and the graphic design. Because anyone can build up a wall, but then how the wall can speak to you is about the architecture, is about the graphics which are there on the wall. Sometimes we are fascinated by the images on the doors of the concepts, or images in the inside of the premises. So these are the emotional part of a concept. And then comes the competence, like how the education process is there, how the consulting is done, and how the partnership is carried forward. This is another concept in Germany. Okay, so now I'll just go through these slides a little bit faster, not making it very boring. When I talked about quality, it has to be, when we talk about our coffee, which is the Schaff coffee concept from Austria, we're talking about the plantation, which we have our own strictly high-grown Arabica coffee beans. We have the treatment, as in the treatment of the harvest by hand picking method, special coffee treatment, and direct trade. Then we are talking about the roastery. So we have our own raised roastery, and the result is a bean which has full of aroma, no bitterness, no acidity, and very low caffeine. So this is a quality attribute of the coffee. Now the quality attribute of the machine. So we have developed a machine which has a patented technology, and the machine is basically used to extract the aromas out of the coffee machine. And here we use a piston and a cylinder method, unlike the boiler method, which extracts 100% aroma of the coffee but not the bitterness. And this is only a unique technology, not available as of now in India. Now the surprising part, which I was mentioning, that people won't be connected with this. 93% of a cup of coffee is water. 93 to 95%. And if the water molecules are hard, if the water is hard, then or it's soft, then the aroma of the coffee gets affected. So here we have developed a technology, again a patented technology, which is called aquacofia. And in this system, there is a cylindrical water treatment system, which converts the water, the regular water which we get from the RO or from the tap, to a spring water. And how the spring water is different from the regular water, it's the structures of the molecules of water. So if the molecules are bound strictly together, then they are not available to extract, to absorb the aromas. But if the molecules of the water are distributed, then the aroma absorption is more and is uniform. So this technology converts the water which is available in our homes or in our cafeterias, it converts it into a steam water. So because of this, the consistency into the coffee comes, and the coffee tastes as good as a coffee in Europe or in America. This is a concept in Slovenia. Now comes the food and the food product part. These are the regular classic coffees, the cappuccinos and the espressos. Exclusivity and multiplex products I would be displaying more in the future slides. Here comes the specialty coffees, which are served in double walled glasses, and multiple layers are visible to the customer. So this is the kind of the product which would interact with the customer by the moment it is served on the table, and it would draw more of the emotions. The competence which we get from into our product is through a coffee academy which we have developed, and there we are doing a complete research on the products, new product development, and we understand the background of coffee. We have barista trainers who come to the different locations to train the people, and there is regular re-education on the sites, in the academy and on the floor as well. This is one of the latest concepts which the world is talking about, the cold brew. One of our strengths, where we deliver results through a strong partnership, where we have a sustainable and a permanent assistance. We have regular education and re-education. We have regular motivation. We have regular updation of new lifestyle products. We have business consulting, and we have permanent controlling of figure developments. Now this is a unique presentation of tea, and this is again how we interact with the customers. If you see, one of them is a hot tea and one of them is a iced tea, and the customer prepares the tea on the table through the education from the steward who is serving the tea. And this kind of a presentation again brings the customer through emotions. A short brief about Schaff. It's a traditional Austrian Viennese coffee founded in 1959. They have been developing barista concepts. They have their 5,000 outstanding commercial successful coffee concepts all over the world. These are frozen shakes. A a various presentation of how a coffee concept could be. It could be in a shopping mall, on a shopping street, on airports, railways, lounges, resorts, and definitely individual retail concepts. A presentation of lemonades. This is just not a normal lemonade which we find in the cafe shops at the moment. These are made out of 100% natural sugars, so they have zero added sugars. Worldwide unique out of one hand solution. So we have, when we talk about a concept, we talk about premium coffee beans, we talk about a patented coffee machine, we talk about Aquacofia, a patented water treatment system, we talk about adequate designated tableware, we talk about lifestyle product recipes, graphic development, architecture, design development, education through Coffee Academy, business consulting, and long-term partnership. So this is a complete 360 world. This is one more serving called frozen lemonades. Now the coffee has to be topped up with food, because coffee doesn't go on alone. It has to be topped up with a snack or with a dessert. So some of the presentation of how the coffee could be served. So here the coffee is topped up with cream and with a muffin. Some different forms of bagels. And it's just an invitation for an opportunity working with Tech4serve, the organization which I've been working. I'm just coming out of the exhibition here in Bandra Kurla complex. This is a pictorial presentation of the exhibition stall there. And the wall behind us, we usually call it the wall of fame, and these are the brands which we have done pan-India so far. The wall of fame again. Thank you.